Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage, and we have a very special success story for you today. Here we have Tim, who recently got an amazing band 9 in his speaking. He got band 7.5 in writing, and he did the test many, many times and failed to get the scores that he needed and showed great perseverance and dedication. And we were talking just before this video, and he was telling me that it was a little bit traumatizing. So he wants to help you guys so that you can avoid failing the test over and over again and wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. So Tim, over to you. Do you want to start off just by introducing yourself to everyone?
Yeah, sure. All right. My name's Tim. I am in my 20s. I took the IELTS test for over about 10 times over the years. Um, yeah, I'm just really excited to be here because I'm happy to share. I'm happy to move on. I'm happy to get the score that I needed so that I can move on in my life. My goal is to immigrate to another country. Um, Passing IELTS really helped me to it's like one step closer to getting what I want. So I'm really grateful for all the help that I've received from you guys.
You're very, very welcome, Tim. And can you share with everyone what were the particular things that you really struggled
Mm.
with? Were there particular modules or were there particular weaknesses that we identified that were stopping you getting those amazing scores?
Yeah, sure. So I struggle with the writing task the most. All the other tasks I was fine with them. Um, I actually didn't know what my key mistakes were
Mhm.
before, so I just kept going for the test over and over again because I was stuck. I needed to get a 7, so I was just happy to get a 7, right? And I was stuck in like 6.5, um, in writing. So mostly 6.5, and I thought to myself that it's just a 0.5 score.
Yeah.
That's the score that I need to get. So um, it couldn't be that hard. I can pass if I just study 10 more days, or if I just study all these grammar rules, or um, memorize all these like template and structures and all that stuff. But that didn't work out for the last 9 times or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And that's a very, very common thing. What we've
yeah,
seen with a lot of the people who we work with is the first test, they're like, oh, it's just an English test. I'll be fine. And then the second test they do, it's like, oh, it's just point 0.5. I'll look up some tips and tricks and some stuff on
exactly.
YouTube. I'll be fine. And then they fail the test a few other times and they're like, oh, okay, now I need to take it seriously. And it's
Yeah.
the people who then take it seriously that get the score that they need. So don't worry, that's a very common pattern. So
Yeah. Um, I didn't take it seriously until probably the last 4 tests. Since the last 4 tests, I actually signed up for another course before joining you guys.
don't name the
Yeah, I
course.
won't, I won't, I won't. I was just um, nothing against the course. I think it was a great course, and I'm sure they've helped a lot of students. But it didn't work out for me, and
Mhm.
I think mostly because um, I've always I've been it's a similar sort of like um, structure as you guys. So I have to write essay. I have to submit essays online, and they give me all this feedback on a video format sort of thing. And so they're actually very supportive, and they told me that I'm doing great. I should go for the test.
Mhm.
Um, but I wasn't feeling that confident deep down. I still got like so many questions about the structure. Whether I wasn't, I couldn't do I couldn't finish the test on time, and I was still making so many grammar mistakes and other stuff. But they were sort of like pushing me to do the test, and yeah, so that didn't work out for me at all.
I'll find out.
Um,
I'll find out at the end of the video. I think I know which course that is, but
right.
but but we'll talk
Okay.
about that at the end. But just for anyone watching, that is a very, very common thing that we hear, not just with online courses, but also just
Okay.
normal schools, where the teacher is telling you everything's fine, you're going to do great, because a lot of teachers don't want to do the hard thing, which is tell students that they are not ready and they have multiple weaknesses. That is quite a difficult conversation to have with students, because a lot of students don't, like, they're human beings. No human being likes to be criticized and told that they're not ready to do something. So the
That's
easy
right.
thing to do is just tell students, you're doing great job, excellent, go for the test. That's easy. But then the student then goes and wastes a huge amount of time and money, and that's not fair. And what we always say is, we would rather you hate us now and then love us when the results come out, than to be our friends today and then when you get the results you're like, well, those guys lied to me, or they didn't know what they were doing. So anyone watching that, just be very careful what you listen to from people who, even if they run an online course or a school, doesn't mean that they're necessarily have your best interests at heart.
Yeah, I mean that's what you said was so true, and also the fact that they didn't even give me a score after marking my essay. They would just tell me, hang on, they wouldn't give me the breakdown of the score. They wouldn't tell me exactly what I'm getting for task achievement, what I'm getting for grammar, for example. So um, they they did give me some feedback, but the feedback usually was pretty general. And
Because it's
all I was getting was, all I was
because
getting
it's
is,
quick to
you're
do it
doing
that way,
great.
because they're
Yeah,
trying
you're
to say,
doing great.
because
You should go for the
they're trying to
test. You're
save
confident
money.
writer. Yeah, yeah. So um, yeah, but I guess I didn't learn my lesson. So I actually stick with the course for um for over a year actually,
Wow.
and I went for the test for 3 times with the help. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If anyone is watching and they're getting similar feedback, what I would always do is push your teachers to tell you exactly why you're getting the scores that you are, with reference to the official marking criteria.
yeah,
So it's like, what am I getting for task achievement? Why? Coherence and cohesion. Why? Grammar, vocabulary. What is it about my writing, my specific weaknesses? Because if you don't know that, you'll not be able to improve. So anyone watching, not only online courses but offline courses, really push your teachers, because you're paying them for a service, to tell you specifically why you're getting those scores, and that will really help you and save you years of preparation. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt him. I just think it's
Yeah,
important
but,
to let,
yeah,
because a lot of people watching will be wondering about that.
yeah. And I think what's so different about your course is that your guys always, like at the beginning they would say, take your time to write your essay. It's okay if you didn't write it under strict exam conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Just take your time and write a well developed essay. Don't care about the time later. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I've got everything, when I've mastered the process, I started focusing on time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But started when I started doing that, I didn't get the score I needed. And so a lot of um, the tutors from IELTS Advantage would say something like, you should be honest with yourself and try to do the test in exam condition, because that's how you reflect on the true exam conditions. So
Yeah.
I found that really true.
Yeah.
Um,
So at the
yeah,
beginning, do it very slowly, take all the time you
that's
need.
right.
But before you do the test, build up to exam
Yeah,
conditions. And
like
then
you
if you're
master the
if
timing.
yeah, because
Yeah,
if
like
if it doesn't matter if you can get a band 7 in two by just in 2 hours, that doesn't mean that
exactly.
you're going to get it under exam conditions. So
Yeah.
yes, that's good advice from
And
the
I have to say,
teachers.
this is not just an English test, right?
Hmm.
This is testing your exam skills. This is testing your concentration as well, because obviously you'll be under a lot of stress. Whatever the reason you're taking IELTS, I'm sure you've been stressing about it, and it's stressful. And there's only 40 minutes to complete task 2, 20 minutes to complete task 1. Like, to be honest, it isn't enough time. There isn't enough time.
Hmm.
So it's not just an English test. So that's why I find it so important to follow the right structure, the right template. Not just study hard. I mean, of course, studying hard is an important element, but also studying it right. I found that I finally learned my lesson. So I'm so grateful
Yeah,
for
they say practice makes perfect, but it doesn't really, because if you are practicing the wrong
that's true.
things, you're making those bad habits even stronger. Whereas if you are identifying your specific weaknesses, working on those weaknesses and attacking it in a more strategic way, then that's way better than spending the next 2 years practicing essays.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes it's not just about hard work, right?
Yeah.
It's also about working hard on the right direction, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, think of really successful people like Elon Musk. Works very hard, but I'm sure there are lots of people who work just as hard as Elon Musk. But why
Yeah.
is Elon Musk one of the richest people in the world, whereas
That's
other
right.
people who work just as hard as him make very little money comparatively? It's because he is
Mm,
thinking in a very strategic way
exactly.
about how to,
Work smart, working smart. Yeah.
yeah, and solving big problems. Um, and I think that's a good lesson to take for a lot of IELTS students is hard work alone is not going to help you. It is very important, but you need to combine that with strategy, which is, it's really important.
Yeah. That's so true.
So when we looked at your writing, what were the specific weaknesses that we identified?
Right. So I think I was most of the time I was fine with task achievement. Like I had no ideas with I've no problems with generating ideas, coming up with relevant ideas and all that stuff. So that came pretty easy to me. But I think I struggled the most with um, grammar. I think that's my big key mistake. So for example, things like articles, plural, singular, all that sort of stuff. I didn't know I had all these problems before getting the correction back. But after getting the correction back, all you know, um, I have all these grammar issues highlighted by you guys, and that's when I, find out that I actually have huge problems with grammar.
Yeah, and grammar can not only affect your grammar score, but it can also affect the other things as well.
Cohesion and coherence as well. Yeah.
Especially because coherence basically means, can the person reading the essay understand what it means and what you're
Yeah.
trying to say? So if you have multiple grammar mistakes in every sentence, it makes it really difficult to understand. Grammar can also affect your vocabulary, because if you don't know how to use the words within a sentence, that can affect things for your vocabulary, and it can even sometimes affect task achievement, because if you have, it's really difficult to understand what is on the page, then the examiner might struggle to really understand, did you answer the question or not. So everybody's
Right.
different, but it's very common to see multiple grammar mistakes and multiple grammar weaknesses causing huge problems throughout the essay. And a lot of people are unaware that they're making those mistakes. So
Yeah.
the first step is
Uh,
finding that out.
exactly. And also, having so many grammar errors throughout the essay also affect the cohesion and coherence, I believe, because
Yeah.
in order to score 7 and above, you need to produce over 50% of error-free sentences.
Hmm.
And so, having so many error mistakes throughout your essay didn't bring up my, cohesion score either. And
Hmm.
so, um, but it was great, knowing what my mistakes is, because for all these years, I was wondering what's wrong with my writing, like, because
Hmm.
everyone around me said it's fine, it's okay, you speak okay English and all that sort of stuff, and but yeah, I mean, I wish I knew about my mistake earlier, so I wouldn't have had to go through so many um, traumatic events.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
and it's why we are like, a lot of people don't like me as a teacher, because I'm very harsh. And the reason why I'm harsh is I don't want people to go and waste a lot of time and money on
that's
failing the
right.
test, because that is far it to me anyway, that is a bigger problem than me telling you you've made 27 grammar mistakes here, and here they are, and you need to fix them, and you need to work hard.
Yeah.
Um, there are other styles of teaching where people wouldn't do that, and that's fine, but that's how we do it. And because our main goal is to get you to the country of your dreams, get the job of your dreams, and that, because we know that's way more important than anything else to you.
That's right.
But thank you for being an adult and taking that criticism and being an adult about
Yeah.
it, because not
Yeah.
all students do. Some students want to be told lies, and because lies are nice,
Yeah.
but we would rather tell you the truth. So thank you for being receptive to that and being
That's right.
sure enough to take it.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that I did right was I was actively seeking for criticism because I wanted to know what's wrong with my essays, right? I
Yeah.
wanted to pass the test so badly, and I wasn't sad about the fact that I was getting. So, for example, I actually handed in a lot of correction essay, and I didn't always get seven or above. Sometimes I would get 6.5. I struggle with task one a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually find task two a little easier compared to
Ah,
task one. So I was struggling with task one, and I didn't get the score I needed either. But and I even had to like go back to the tutorial, which I watched previously. So I did a lot of prep work, and I think just the key is to be honest with yourself,
yeah.
and it's okay to make mistakes, and
Yeah. And that's how anyone learns a language.
there's a team of IELTS experts there, so use them, don't
Yeah.
waste them, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's no point pretending you are better than them.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing this for so long. You guys have been doing this for so long. You've helped a lot of students along the way, and so I was completely honest with my results.
Yeah.
Even though it sucks to admit that.
Well,
But yeah,
like
yeah,
anything, you to achieve good things, you need a certain amount of pain. It's like
yeah,
you can't get fit at the gym without going to the gym every day and experiencing a
exactly.
certain amount of pain. You
Yeah,
can't achieve anything in life without going through a certain amount of pain. And it's really those students who have your attitude of, I want to get better, and I want to make mistakes and learn from my mistakes and get better, who get the scores that they need.
yeah,
Like anything in life, that's why you've been
yeah,
successful. It's totally to do with mindset, nothing to do
and
with
also
language ability or intelligence or anything like that. Just your attitude.
and also finding time and putting time aside to study is also important.
Exactly.
So
When did you do that? Did you do that in the morning or the evening or in the middle of the day? How did
throughout
you?
the day, but I've watched all of your mindset videos. I know that you like waking up early and do the
Yeah.
hard work in the morning, and I follow the same rules. I like getting up early and get IELTS out of the way, like IELTS prep out of the way before, because I work full time as well,
Hmm.
and so time is a luxury when you work full time, right? And so I
Hmm.
have to find time to study, and it's a fair bit of um, distance from my work to from my home to the workplace, and so I will use that time to study as well.
Hmm.
I've got I've compiled a list of error list as well, all the
Excellent.
errors I've made over the years, and so I will study them when I'm on the bus, whenever I
Excellent.
have time.
Yeah.
Because it's IELTS test to me, it's like a marathon. I'm sure a lot of people could pass in one go, but that didn't happen to me. Like, to me, I think you have to break it all down into small steps.
Hmm.
You IELTS test is huge. Like, some people might even have to study for like years to get there,
A
right?
lot of people do.
So yeah, and so I think it's important to see IELTS as like a tiny, like a little milestones at a time, like
Hmm.
before going for the real test.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people want to get it done quickly, but
very quickly. Yeah,
I'm going to sound, it sounds like a paradox. I'm going to sound very philosophical, but sometimes in order to
yeah,
go
that's right.
quickly, you need to slow down.
Exactly.
Because if you try and do things really quickly, what will happen is what happened to you. You'll fail 10 times and spend years just be getting very frustrated, and then you'll
That's
either
right.
give up, or most people will just give up. Very few people make it past 6 or 7 failures. But if you slow down, identify your weaknesses, work on those, then you will be ready, and then you'll get the score that you need. And that's much quicker. Like if you had to join the VIP course at the start of your IELTS journey, that would have cut a dramatic amount of time and money out
And
of,
money as well.
and money as
Exactly.
well.
And
Our
money.
course is not cheap. We
Um,
don't sell cheap courses, because cheap courses don't work, but it is an investment, because how many times are you going to earn that money back when you move to that country and you're working in that job? You'll probably make that money back in the first week that you're working there, and you
that's right.
continue to do
Yeah.
that over and over again. So
Well, I was really happy to invest, but I just wanted to make sure to invest in the right place and
yeah,
not falling for the traps anymore. So yeah,
yeah.
I obviously I've made the right decision, and I'm so
Yeah.
glad. Yeah,
And it's another
yeah,
reason why I'm really harsh, because I don't want people to think that it's all, it's a bunch of marketing bullshit. Whereas we're like,
yeah.
if you want to join the course, you have to work hard, and we're going to
That's right.
criticize you. And if you do the work, you're going to get the test, instead of, join our magic secret course with full of super magic fairy dust, and we will tell you the secrets and you'll guarantee a score in 6 days. It's nonsense. It's impossible to do that. So
Yeah.
we're very
And there's
honest.
so much information out there as well. Like there's so
Hmm.
much information about IELTS out there, and there are also so much misinformation out there as well.
Yep.
And so,
Yep.
doing a
Unfortunately.
course like saves me a lot of time to filter a lot of
Hmm.
stuff that I see online that might
Yep.
not be accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know for sure that I can completely rely on the material you provided, and
Yeah.
so I felt, I felt confident. I would say that you guys be able to help me, and I don't have to do any other research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's say you want to work on writing an introduction. You can either just watch one of our VIP videos on how
Mm.
to write an
Yeah.
introduction, which gives you a system and it takes half an hour, or you can go and watch 17 YouTube videos on how to write
Yeah.
an introduction, and they all tell you a different thing, and half of them
Exactly.
are correct and half of them aren't. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, that is a huge waste of time, and your writing is going to be a reflection of your thinking. If your thinking is confused, your writing will be confused. So, you've hit the nail on the head. Just find one source that you trust, do it, and do what they tell you to do. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
us, someone else who's trustworthy, but focus on one source, because it's going to save you
That's
a
right.
amount of time. So,
Yeah. That's exactly right.
so if you were to imagine you were giving yourself advice 12 months ago, you were able to speak to yourself 12 months ago or 2 years ago, what would be like the 2 or 3 things that you would tell yourself?
It's gonna take some time to get there, so don't expect an overnight success because that's not gonna happen.
Hmm.
It's gonna take a lot of like determination and hard work.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it's like I said before, it's important to study right as well.
Hmm.
Probably as important to put in the work. Yeah. So um, I was studying really hard, the last couple of times, but I didn't get the result that I needed because I didn't study right. And so what I would say to my the, to myself 12 months ago, probably um, you know find the right materials and just focus on them. Um, and I guess also be open to criticism.
Hmm. Good.
Yeah. And
So,
or also and also practice in exam condition.
okay, good. So take your time, study hard, but study smart. And
Yeah.
study smart means find out your weaknesses and address those weaknesses, and
Yeah.
get to the point where under exam conditions you're going to get the score that you need.
Yeah, exactly. And it's important to master every process as well.
Hmm.
So don't underestimate the power of planning. Because I actually spent quite a lot of time on planning before writing the essay. I spent
Yeah.
about 10 minutes on planning, and that
Everybody
helped
who
me
is
study.
successful says exactly the same thing, Tim. So
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, I didn't used to do that. I used to, rush through my planning step, and I would just go straight to writing because um, it's only 40 minutes, right? And 250 words doesn't sound a lot, but it can be a lot when you're under, when you're under a lot of stress.
Thank you so much, Tim, for sharing all that information.
That's all right.
And a lot of people watching might be thinking, that seems very obvious or very simple or very straightforward. But what I would say is there are no secrets. What Tim said is what actually works. And if you're looking for secrets and tips and tricks and hacks and shortcuts, you're going to continually fail the test. But just
Mm.
make things extremely simple, keep it simple, work hard, work smart, and you'll get the score that you need. So thank you so
Yeah,
much, Tim, for
that's
sharing
all
that.
right. Thank
And
you
I
so
wish you the
much.
best of luck in the future. And if you need
Yeah,
anything
thank
from
you.
us, just let us know. We're happy, our team are happy to help you out with whatever you need in
Yeah,
the
sounds
future.
good. All right. Thank you so much,
All right,
Chris.
Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, Chris here again. Hopefully you enjoyed that success story video. That student was part of our IELTS VIP course. And on that course, we show students exactly where they're going wrong and exactly what to do to get the score that they need. And we give them all the help and support that they need in order to get a 7, 8, or even 9 in their IELTS test. Now, we only work with a really, really small number of students. Because of the level of help and feedback and support that we give students, we can only work with a very, very small number of them. But we also have more success stories than any other online or offline course in the world, which has created a huge amount of demand for our course. So we're the only course in the world, I believe, that has a very, very, very long waiting list. If you want to join that waiting list, all you have to do is just click here and you'll be able to add your name, add your email address, and then when one of our students becomes successful and leaves the course, the next position can be for you. Hopefully see you in there. Bye-bye.